tell you, Sean, I have contempt.
Uh-oh.
Contempt. I bet you know what I have contempt for.
What do you have contempt for?
I give you two guesses. You'll get it. If you don't get the first one, I have contempt for
the
closers. Damn it.
Closers.
Holy hell. I mean,
I told you a couple weeks ago you had to start warming up.
With the closers killing me?
Yeah, you got to start warming up and going in for yourself here.
Oh, yes, my Lord. I swear to you, I get more losses than anybody I know from closers. I'm on the Cardinals yesterday. 2 runs. I said, all right, they can probably win by 1. The value is there enough at 1, but they're playing Pittsburgh. They should have the advantage. I think they can win this game by 2. Holy Lord, the closer comes in. And the funny thing is, what's up, Drew? How you doing, man? Hope you had a great weekend. The crazy thing is, I can see on the MLB. I'm watching on the MLB. I can see the pitches over here. The pitcher. I know the pitcher doesn't have control today. If I can see that watching the damn MLB.com, I want to know how in the hell a multi-millionaire paid manager can't go, you know what, maybe he doesn't have it today.
Well, it's almost like they know that, but they don't have anybody else either ready, or it's, let's see what happens. It's really frustrating when that happens. Because there are times they just leave guys out there and whatever happens, happens.
Yeah, but I mean, it's not like the Cardinals aren't trying to maybe get a playoff spot. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I would think maybe it's a new thinking. I don't know. But why not warm up 2 guys just in case the one you put in is not good, and if the other one is just a side throwing session?
Yeah.
And then college football. Oh my God, I was ready to. I'm in the basement. Fortunately, I have to jump up to get out that window. I won't go down. But Hawaii, what are you doing? 2 possessions and you're giving UCLA the ball inside the 10. I mean, they probably wouldn't have won that game anyway. I see why they have such a very good secondary. You don't have to throw on them. Just hand it off to the dude.
Yeah, exactly. And hey, I was glad for college football. I went 2-0 in college football, so I kind of agree with Drew. Let's be done with baseball.
Yeah, what's funny is Joe said she was done with baseball a couple of weeks ago. I mean, I'm still winning at about a 54% clip for the year. It's just that it drives me nuts because I don't remember my team being down 3-1 in the bottom of the 9th, and then the relief pitcher comes in, walks a guy, hits a guy, third guy hits a home run, and I turn the loss into a win like that. It doesn't happen. But I can count about 6 of them where the closer came in, started walking folks. The next thing you know, what? I need to throw a strike right down the middle. Batting practice fastball. See ya. And I'm just like, again? It's like, is someone out there with a voodoo doll? Like, that's, I don't know. Anyway, how was the rest of it? Because of yesterday with the horse racing stuff, I didn't get a chance. I said earlier there was one team in the preseason that I would have bet this past week. I was hoping they would play on Friday. They didn't play on Friday. They didn't play on Saturday. I was busy handicapping yesterday. But the one team I would have played, and I was going to write about this, but I didn't have time, would have been the Jacksonville Jaguars, because they had made it clear that no matter what it took, they were going to get a game. And I know they were a 4.5-point favorite, but still, the Cowboys suck.
I tried Dallas on that one. Just 4.5 points. Jacksonville wasn't looking that great. And, that was kind of to avoid baseball, too. I played 2 preseason games yesterday and went 0-2. And then baseball, it looked like I was going to go 2-0. And then Boston collapsed versus Cleveland, too. So ended up 1-3 on the day.
Yeah, I ended up 0-2 on the day yesterday, thanks to that stupid pitcher. And then I tried something different in soccer. I won't ever do that again. One and done. I learned my lessons like that. Yes, it looks like a good weekend. I agree, Drew. A lot of good teams. Titans, Cardinals. Titans -2.5. As long as they're at home, I would agree with you. If they're on the road, a little shaky. But I do like the new look Titans with Julio Jones until the playoffs anyway. Then Julio's toe will hurt, or his arch will hurt, or something will hurt, and Julio won't be Julio in the playoffs. All right, new week, reset. What do you think, Sean? There's only baseball today anyway, so we can't unfortunately be done with it. I have a couple plays today. I like one. I think is going to be a little surprising. I think it's a good opportunity to make money on a plus line. So let's talk a little bit of Major League Baseball. Let's go ahead and kick it off, Sean, with the St. Louis Cardinals and the Cincinnati Reds. two of your favorite pitchers, John Lefty Lester, who can't get anybody out anymore, and Luis Castillo. You're no way on the planet you're going to take the under with Luis Castillo here.
No, not against John Lester, and I'm not gonna touch this game. If I would go anywhere, I'd obviously have to go to the Reds, giving up a run and a half, and I just don't feel that confident with them, even though they should cover it.
But with John Lester, they should be up 2 or 3 runs in the first inning.
They should, but I'm going to pass on this game. The Reds haven't been playing. They were playing good, and now they're back into that little bit of a slump.
Yeah, another one of those teams that plays to the level of their competition.
Yeah, right? So this is one. That price tag of minus 220 to win, too, is crazy.
So if you look at the game, it is but it's Lester pitching. So when you look at the lines, the Reds are taking in about 85 cents out of every dollar, but only closer to 60% of the bets on the money line. And on the run line, it's much better than that. It looks like everybody is on the red line at minus 1.5. You have a little more than 8. You got about 80 cents on both sides of that. So there's a lot more consensus that the Reds are going to win by 1.5, which doesn't make any sense, than that the Reds are going to win by 1. I don't. It's the new math, Sean. What can I say? It's those Excel sheets that are driving me nuts. The Philadelphia Phillies, you've got Zach Wheeler, their top pitcher on the mound, only minus 140 against Washington. But oddly enough, which is kind of hard to believe, but Washington actually has the power ranking. So in other words, Washington's a better team at home, which is kind of hard to believe. Then Philadelphia is on the road. And they also score more runs at home than Philadelphia probably scores at home more on the road. So I got to stay off this game even with Wheeler pitching.
Yeah, I agree. And the Phillies offense was in a little bit of a slump here, so I don't want to give up a run and a half as well.
And at some point that Philadelphia bullpen comes in the game too.
Yeah, and Josiah Gray hasn't pitched bad, so it's not like they're facing a scrub or nothing. As far as
if you're on the Phillies, man, you're hoping complete game is the line for Wheeler, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely, 100%. Baltimore and Toronto, minus 334. What are you going to do with that?
Just add them to a parlay is all you can really do here.
Pass. Although you would think that there's a pretty good chance that Toronto, maybe you can do like an alternative line, Toronto by 3 or something, and get a plus line just for the sake of doing something. Maybe if your normal unit is $100, you put 20 on it just so that you have something to do. Boston and Tampa Bay, Sean. Tampa Bay at home against the Boston Red Sox. At one point, Boston was one of the better teams in all of Major League Baseball on the road. They've really slid a lot on the road in the second half of the year. What do you think about this spot?
I like Tampa here. The only thing, I didn't make this an official. I just don't like the minus 145. Just not that automatic for me to jump on Tampa Bay here.
But you can get minus 136. Is that enticing?
No, not enough. I don't want to give up a run and a half neither, even though there is good value there if you want to give up a run and a half. I got plus 140 here.
That's a really good number, plus 140.
Yeah, it is. So no official plays for me, but Tampa would be the play if I would do it.
Well, I think you can do it. I'm going to actually take Tampa. I'm going to take Tampa at the minus 130. What is it? 36 number I told you.
Yep.
That run line is interesting to me because when I look at Tampa, as good as Boston's been on the road, Tampa has just been lights out dominant at home. The run differential is like 59 to 41%. I mean, that's as big as a run differential as you're going to see tonight on the board. And you're talking about two good teams. That's how dominant Tampa Bay has been at home. So I am on Tampa Bay. I might think about doing is, matter of fact, this is what I'm going to do, Sean. I'm going to sprinkle my money around on this game. I'm going to put $20. Well, I'm back down to 25, so I got to think about this math a little bit. I'm going to do 17 on Tampa run line, money line minus 100, and confusing myself here a little bit, 136 because I'm doing this on the fly, and then I'm going to do the other $9 or $8, whatever I have left. $8 on the run line at plus 140. Let's see. Let me get the best line I can get. Okay, anytime now, computer. Let's see, Tampa run line, I can get 147. So, yeah, I'll take the other third of that on Tampa at 147.
Yeah, that is a good price. I mean, that might be something I'll do on my personal account later, either by itself or with a couple others.
Yeah, but I mean, that run line differential is huge. So that's very interesting to me. And then when you look at the numbers as far as how people are playing it, the folks on the ground, Tampa Bay is taking in Boston at the +1.5 is getting 2/3 of the money. So maybe I'm the wrong side of that. But Tampa Bay on the money line is taking in more than 85 cents on the dollar. So it looks like people think Tampa's going to win, but only by a run. I don't know. I think Tampa, based upon that run differential, has a chance to smoke them. We'll see. Next game on the board is Colorado and Texas. AJ Alexy making his MLB debut versus Jermaine Marquez, one of the top pitchers for Colorado. Colorado, playing better, but still one of the worst teams on the road. You can catch a plus line with Texas and the newbie. You thinking about it?
No, I would go Colorado if I'd go anywhere, but I'm not playing -140 with Colorado on the road here, just not knowing what this pitcher's going to bring.
He going to bring some heat, son. Let me tell you a little bit about AJ Alexy. I'm taking the Texas Rangers tonight, hands down, and I'll tell you why. Texas has the second largest run differential. As good as Colorado's offense has been, Texas has actually scored a lot more runs at home. And I had to kind of do like this to my eyes a couple of times to make sure I was reading that number right. But they actually score much more runs. Texas at home has a 57-43% run differential advantage. It's a huge number. And they also have a 52. They've been bad at home, but Colorado's been much worse on the road. But let's get to AJ Alexy. This guy's taken a mound for the first time as a Major League Baseball player. In the minor leagues this year, AA, AAA, he's moved up the ranks. 130 innings pitched, more than 150 strikeouts versus only 54 walks, only giving up 16 home runs and a whip around 1.01. This man's going to come into the game tonight, and he's going to strike people out, Sean. Strike a lot of them out. I'll bet you if you look at a player prop, you give me AJ Alexy with 5 strikeouts. Tell me what that number is. I'd think about taking it.
I will find out. Here we go. Over 4.5, -130.
Geez, so they're expecting him to strike a lot of people out, aren't they?
Only over 4.5.
Only 4.5?
Well, yeah, but it's -130 is the price you pay.
Yeah, but you're getting a big negative number for a guy who's got to strike 5 people out for you to win that bet.
Yeah. Yep.
What does that tell you? That the folks at Vegas know about this kid?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
They're expecting him to come and bring heat.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm only going to put 20 on the newbie, though. I'm not going to put the full 25 on him.
Okay.
Looks like the Yankees and the Angels, there's no line there, so Yankees win, but we don't have any line there, especially against the undecided picture. If there's a bullpen game for Los Angeles, look out. Although Corey Kluber is not my favorite starter in the Yankees lineup. San Diego and Arizona. Oh, boy, I'm tempted on this one too, Sean.
Well, I hope you're on the Arizona side because I'm going to make it official here with Arizona. Tyler Gilbert has pitched 11 scoreless innings versus San Diego. This is the team that he had the no-hitter versus in his starting debut. So I'm going to go Arizona here because you got Chris Paddock with San Diego, and his ERA is over 5. So I'm taking Arizona, and I get a nice juicy line. I see like +160 here.
You got 177 if you go shopping, Sean.
Yeah, I will.
And that line's moving up, though, a little bit, which kind of scares me because I see a lot of the same things you do. And then I look at the run differential in this spot. And Arizona, well, as of late, Arizona has almost played as well as San Diego. That power ranking differential is minuscule, and I would expect it to be like that. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But it's not. The thing that keeps me off of it is San Diego still manages to score more runs than Arizona does. So, and Arizona has the absolute worst bullpen by ERA in baseball, unless they pitched better lately by not coming in or something along those lines. But that's the part that concerns me is Gilbert leaves the game. He's winning 3-2, 4-2, and then the San Diego Padres tune up the relief pitching and steal that one in the 9th inning with the closer. I don't want to live that again. I've had enough. I'm ready to cry. I'm going to break down. All right. So as far as the betting public is concerned, let's take a look at what they like there. So with the Padres and the Diamondbacks, well, a lot of folks are on the Padres on Arizona at +1.5. You got 3/4 of the money on that side. And then when you look at the money line side of the game, it's 2/3 of the money is on the Padres on the money line. So I think, a third of the money being on Arizona is a good amount considering these two teams' histories in 2021.
Yeah, and you get, I see even money here to even take a run and a half. The only thing that always scares me about that is you take a run and a half, that only protects you versus San Diego winning by 1. Otherwise, Arizona wins, and you could have got almost double the value just to take them straight up. So
yeah, I think you're better off doing what you did for sure. Mathematically, it makes more sense to me too. Atlanta and the LA Dodgers. I mean, hold on. Milwaukee. Well, these could be some. I mean, these are playoff previews, right? Milwaukee and San Francisco. This could be your NLCS if things go the right way. I mean, that Milwaukee pitching staff can match up against anybody. Corbin Burns, who is probably your front runner right now for the Cy Young with Jacob deGrom being out, minus 132 against Johnny Cueto in San Francisco. Milwaukee actually is one of the better scoring teams on the road. They have the best pitching ERA on the road, and they've clearly got the best pitcher on the mound tonight. I'm really thinking about taking Milwaukee in this spot.
Yeah, but San Fran at home, they're the better team record-wise. I just couldn't do it, and this is, I had mixed signals this game with the starting pitcher. Yeah, Milwaukee's got better. They score more runs sometimes. I didn't – too many mixed signals for me to jump on anything here.
Well, the reality is Milwaukee scores, and I couldn't believe this again. This was another one of the take the sand out of my eye moments. But Milwaukee actually does a better job scoring on the road than the Giants. I was going to call them the 49ers. I'm like you and Drew. I'm already done with baseball. Let's move on to football. But the Giants actually score less runs at home than the Milwaukee team manages to score on the road, which is a big positive, I think, for Milwaukee. The only thing is that power ranking advantage is slightly in San Francisco's favor. If that number were in Milwaukee's favor, I'd be all over Milwaukee in the spot. My simulator says that Milwaukee wins this game 61% of the time, and I'm only paying like if they're going to win 58% of the time. So a little bit of a discount. I would have liked to have more of a discount considering Milwaukee's the road team. That's the only reason I'm not on this spot. Atlanta and the LA Dodgers, another playoff preview. You could see these guys in the NLCS if things work out correctly. You can get the Braves at plus 192, Sean.
Yeah, I didn't want to do that, though. Julius Urias is going for the Dodgers. But the price is too deep for me to take the Dodgers, too, and I didn't want to give up a run and a half, and you're still floating around that negative number. I don't know. You probably could find a positive there, but I didn't want to do that with the Dodgers right now.
So let me ask you a question. Where the line is right now, the line here minus 220, right? So that's the line that I had on DraftKings. Mm-hmm. So at minus 220, that says that the Dodgers have basically a 69% chance to win this game. And Atlanta only has and that number's only gone down since the beginning of the day, but 36% chance to win. Let me ask you a question. Do you think Atlanta only has a 36% chance to win tonight?
I would say you're almost at 2/3 there. I would say Dodgers win this game 2 out of every 3 times. So that's about right.
You think that's about right? I think it's probably more 45-55 Dodgers. And 45-55 Dodgers, that means there's a ton of value in Atlanta. I'm not going to bet Atlanta because there is, as I've heard before from an old acquaintance of mine, that there is no value in losing bets. I think the Dodgers might eke this one out, but if you're just a plain probability player and you're a plain let's look at the math says that there's a much better than 36% chance for Atlanta to win this game, and a plus 192. You take this game 100 times, you're going to end up winning it 45 times and turn a profit. I just don't think one of those 45 is likely to be tonight. Finally, Houston and Seattle. Boy, they burn your parlay team, Astros, versus the I can't ever get on the right side of them, Seattle. So
but I do like Seattle as an underdog, and I'm going to do kind of what you said. So I'm going to take 2 bad teams. Well, Seattle's been good, but I'm going to take 2+ values here. 1 wins, I come out on profit. I'm taking Seattle money line here. Seattle likes the underdog role, and Houston, they like to not play so well against teams that they're favored against. So
yeah, so you got a plus 155 is the maximum value I can get you from the same house that hooked you up in the other game.
Which book is
Arizona? That is UWager.
Okay.
Never heard of them before, but apparently they like you, Sean.
Yeah, they're providing good value.
Yes, indeed they are. Well, as far as the game is concerned, I wanted to kind of be on Seattle in this spot too, but Houston, as goofily as they play, they still have the better power ranking number, and they have a considerably more runs per game on the road than Seattle scores. So then the simulator says that there's actually value in Houston at minus 165. So that number has only come down a little bit. So if that number were to go under 160, and it's pretty damn close on Houston, I would be, well, it is 160. So at 160, I'm thinking about it, Sean. I might go against you and take Houston in my own account tonight because all the math says that's the case. Looking at the way the numbers are playing out in that spot, the Astros at minus 155 are taking in 3/4 of the bets and a little more than 60 of the money and a little bit more than 60% of the bets. So the smart money is backing Houston, which is kind of weird because the line is kind of drifting downwards from earlier in the day. It's up from where, it's drifting down from where it opened, which is kind of weird considering the smart money is backing the Astros. What are you going to do?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I would avoid Houston as big favorites every time at this point.
Yeah, those soccer ties kill me every single time, Drew. The one thing I would kind of tell you to kind of look out for is maybe sometimes you get a big enough plus line on a team at home where you can do the draw no bet. And another thing that I've thought about doing a lot of times, and it has worked out to me, is the bet in game. So if I like a spot in game, so let's just say you like Liverpool to beat Everton, and Liverpool actually falls behind Everton, to go ahead then and do a Dutch bet on the Everton team, on Liverpool to come back and tie and win. I've done that quite a few times and actually ended up very profitable doing it that way. Because, sometimes you get that stupid, I can't tell you, this drives me nuts too, Sean. On the weekend in soccer, it's very similar to the stupid closer thing. I pick the team that dominates the ball possession. I pick the team that dominates the shots. I pick the team that dominates the shots on goal. The other team gets one shot on goal and it goes in. My team gets 20 shots on goal and not one goes in, bouncing off the crossbar, offsides. I mean, and it just, I'm surprised I have any hair. And I'm surprised my blood pressure is only 190 over something. It should be about 400 based upon some of the stuff that happens during this game. Well, that wraps up today, Sean. Anything else that you think we should talk about before we roll on?
Well, we got some, you said about these values coming with DraftKings and FanDuel for football season. So DraftKings has Tampa Bay plus 73 that you can get on. Now, it didn't.
I'm a Cowboys fan. I'm taking the Cowboys.
It didn't tell you the max bet. So I tried 100. It didn't leave me 100. It reset it to the max bet. It was $50.10. I'm not sure why the 10 cents, but
must be the juice.
You'll get like 45.33 back. So there's a free 45.33. And then there is also one of those that it keeps bringing the total down for Georgia Tech Clemson. That is a max bet of $25 and you'll double your money. I'm sure that
they're both on DraftKings?
Yeah, they're both on DraftKings. And then FanDuel, I got noticed. I don't know if everybody else got it, but I got a free $100 risk-free college football bet. So once I opted,
you went 2-0 last week, man. You better be careful with that one.
Yeah.
Maybe you should put it on. You should take the 100 and put it on the bet down over at DraftKings. You should text them and ask them if you can do that.
Yeah, I doubt it, but I'm sure FanDuel will have more coming too. They always are. And so the best thing to do, like we always talk about too, is have both and take advantage of both. I mean, DraftKings right there, you got a free $65. So
yeah, I'll be taking advantage of both of them. I mean, if you're not taking advantage of those things, you're making a mistake. Bama minus 19.5 over Miami. I haven't looked at those games yet, Drew, but just from experience, Miami is not that good. Looking at how they played last year in the bowl game, I don't know like their quarterback or any of that kind of stuff. And Alabama, the one thing, if you pull out Nick Saban's book, and I made my son read it because I told him, look, man, this is Nick Saban, right? And this is what he teaches his kids. You should learn too. But he makes no bones about it, man. He just does not tell his kids to let up. And if they're going to play 60 minutes, no matter how much they're up by. So I think there's a really good chance Alabama puts a whooping on Miami because Miami's just not the program it used to be in what was it called? The convicts versus the Catholics era. Yeah. They're not, they might still be getting the convicts. I don't know, but they're not playing like they used to.
No, but they have gotten better the last year or two, but they every time it's the competition they're playing. So Alabama's a whole nother step. So,
I mean, that's the ultimate step.
Yeah. You went right. I'm seeing DraftKings, that line actually went down to 18.5 now. So there might be some people on Miami. But like you, I got to do more research till Saturday, see where we're at with every team, switch from baseball to college football for a little bit here. And
I can't, I did one thing about baseball, and I don't mind betting baseball. Like I said, over the course of the season, I'm winning at about 55% of my games, turning a profit. So I'm happy about that. But it's such a grind, and it's such a roller coaster ride. You go up and you have highs, and then you feel like, oh, I finally got this. And then out of nowhere, your closer comes in and just blows up, and then it just doesn't go right. And you're like, and then you go down. And then when you get that feeling like, God, I can't take this anymore, then you go right back up again. So God, I can't take this anymore.
Is it not aggravating? I was watching, and I don't know what game it was, but they were in the ninth inning, and it was one of those tense moments. And there's two guys in the dugout, and, just joking away like nothing. But then, like, you as a person watching the TV, you're like on, sitting there on your hands and knees and everything else. And football's the same way. I get
because your $30 matters to you, or your $100 matters to you. These guys make $1 million a year. They don't care.
But it's not even the betting. It's even as a fan, even when I watch Jets games, and at the end of the game, you're more devastated than the guys playing sometimes, and that
because you're more emotionally committed than they are. Because A, you got money backing them, right? And then B,
no, I usually don't. No, I usually don't bet the Jets.
Yeah, well, you shouldn't.
Yeah,
it's not a bad idea.
No, and I won't bet against them either. Usually,
I mean, if people tuning in heard you say, "Yeah, I always bet the Jets," that would be probably the last time we saw them.
Yeah, definitely. And they would. Well, that would at least explain the losing record.
Well, I bet the Jets. It's a 10-year record.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we're going to get that back up in football.
Especially.
And I'm looking forward to football. Yeah, I'm looking forward to baseball wrapping up because it is a grind. You get a little bit of a mental break in football. It's not day after day, game after game, and it's thousands of games that you're analyzing, and you don't have that problem in football. All right, one quick thing in golf. We had one guy hit, two guys miss. As I mentioned in the article over at Moneyline Madmen, make sure you head on over there if you haven't already. Open up account. Let's see one quick question. Home run bets. I was putting $3K on a Will player hit a home run. I'd put no. I did it for 2 weeks at around $900 per bet. I pocketed like $300 a day. Is that dumb? LOL. Well, if you're making a profit, I would say probably not, right? But when they do hit that one home run,
yeah,
you're feeling it for sure. It's like that. I kind of like what the other guy does in horse racing too, Drew. He does this parlay where you got to have horse finish second, and he just kind of presses his bet for 3 horses. Yet I haven't managed to hit one, so I'm hoping today is the day.
Well, for him to break even, he needs 10 days of that person he's picking to not hit a home run. If that person one time out of the 10 hits a home run, you're gonna either break even or you'll break even if it does it once. Does it twice, you're losing. So.
That's a bad math, but even you got to figure out, you got to look at what percentage. I would say that if that's the math, then you got to look to see what percentage of the guys at bats he hits a home run.
Yeah, right? I mean, Drew, which guys are you betting on not to hit a home run?
Yeah, that's probably the big thing. But then imagine some guys that are not. I mean, you probably can't take like the shortstop for Cleveland who doesn't have a home run all year. That's probably like you'd probably be better off betting him to hit a home run. Because then if he hits one, you only have to hit one out of probably 1,000 to make money. All right, Sean. So if folks want to follow us, what should they do? What would smart people do if they wanted to follow us?
Well, they would follow us on Facebook and Twitter, Moneyline Madmen, and then they would also go to moneylinemadman.com, create an account, and post pics of themselves. Watch us make our picks. They can make their picks. We can have conversations, whatever they want to do.
Yeah, he says he was taking the sorry ass hitters, so those are the ones to take. I would take them too. Yeah, make sure you head on over to the horse racing. Well, go over to Horse Racing Radar. They are our sponsor. They put some contests up. We do some nice analysis on the weekends. Thousands of people watch, which is kind of cool. And then on top of that, they have some great horse racing articles as well. Head on over to Moneyline Madman. Go ahead and post your picks. Let's get this community really rocking. Everyone share their thoughts, what they like, what they don't like. And then, kind of comment on what other people have to say. Let's all try to get better at this game. That way, when we meet again, Sean, what will we all have?
Money.
Winning tickets, my friend.
Winning tickets.
All right. We'll see you all tomorrow, 23 hours and 30 minutes. Until then, may all of your tickets be winners. Have a great day, folks, at the window.